We're back again, and we're talking another golf swing characteristic. This time we're going to talk about over the top. Again, as usual, Amber will tell us a little bit more about what it is to go over the top, and then I'm going to talk her through a couple exercises that we'll do that can hopefully help you in terms of making sure that you don't go over the top yourself.
Excellent, thank you, Dan. So the first thing I'm going to have you do is just grab this club here, get into your golf posture. Like a golfer. And right here, go ahead and show me a nice, decent backswing. Take a backswing back, good, and then come back down. Perfect, so that was pretty straight in and straight back right there on the line. And now I'm going to have you go ahead and come back in and show me a little over the top. So here, and when that arms move around and then they come, all do crazy things. Go ahead, finish, boop, right there. So you're not going in a direct line, you're wasting energy as at the top. When you're looking at over the top, there's lots of reasons why this might happen. There could be a wrist mobility issue. It could be, you know, hey, I used to play baseball and you think that this waggle at the top is something that you need in your golf swing. Guess what? You don't. It's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people play with a over-the-top characteristic, but it's always good to eliminate excess energy expenditure as much as possible. So we're going to hit on one of those today, mostly looking at the wrist to help you if that is something you have an issue with in your swing and like to try to make it better.
We're talking about over the top, and we want to show you a couple exercises because, as she mentioned, it's a lot of times it's in the wrist. And we want to give you some ways you can mobilize your wrist and really work on that. The first one, all you need is a dumbbell, and you'll notice I have Amber sitting, and the main reason I have this is it allows you to kind of focus a little bit more on motion at the wrist itself, because a lot of times when people do things and they aren't in this position, they will start using their elbow a lot more, and they'll start doing bicep curls and things like that. So I'm going to have Amber take this little weight here, and she's going to hold it in her hand. She's going to put her forearm down on her leg. So now she can actually keep this forearm locked down right here. She can hold it down with the other hand if she wants, if you're having issues with it. But now she can let the weight curl all the way down to the fingertips and then curl it all the way back up. Wrist flexion and extension. It's real simple, but it's going to strengthen the wrist up to make sure that you have the ability to handle that club and be stiff throughout that if you need it when you're doing your golf swing there. And can't just do one side, so we're going to have her go and flip her hand over. No. Yeah, we're just going to do one side demonstration-wise, okay? Now we're going to do the extension of the wrist. We had flexion, now we're doing extension. Make sure you go as far down and as far up as you can. Always working through the greatest range of motion that you have possible.
We're shaking.
She's shaking. That means we need to work on this, okay? Perfect. So we'll go ahead and have her stop there. That's just wrist flexion and extension, all right? All right, now we're going to talk about hinging of the wrist. It's ulnar and radial deviation, you might hear, but the big thing here is you want to be able to move your wrist up and down this way as well, right? Thumbs up, thumbs down. No, it's okay. All right, we're going to use a golf club. It actually works really, really well, and since you're watching a video on a golf characteristic, I assume that you have one of these somewhere.
Sense.
I like making sense. Okay, if you don't, baseball bats work, and who knows, if you really don't, you can always hold a weight and do that too. Rolling pin, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and give this club to her. Now, here's one real quick caveat of this. You're going to hinge the wrist. Obviously, you take leverage away the further away you hold it on the club. So if you find it too hard, give yourself leverage back. Take it back up higher on the club, okay? So she's putting her arm on her forearm here so that she has the ability to stabilize and really focus on hinging forward, under control, and back up under control. As far as she can. Make sure you don't hit yourself in the face with the club. Make sure you don't hit yourself in the shin with the club. That's really it. I mean, just want to take your time through it. Go as far, again, always working through range of motion. And as you go and you get stronger with it, you work your way down the club. Who knows? Maybe you're doing it with an axe. You're playing around, doing it with an axe. Make sure you don't hit yourself in the face. All right? So that is the last exercise of the over the top with the wrist hinge, and we had the wrist flexion and extension. Remember to join us next week where we'll hit the flat shoulder plane.
Thanks for coming.